Hi everyone, this is Diane, and I'm here today again to work on this Cheery House journal. When I did the tutorial on putting this together, if you watched it, you know that I used an existing journal that I had made a few years ago and used that as a template for the cover, and I showed how to put it together. But I didn't give you the measurements, and I'm sorry, I meant to do that. So I cut the batting piece 20 inches long by 9.5. So it's 20 by 9.5. And then you can, I don't think these angles don't even match up. So if you can make them match better than I did, you'll be doing good. Because I just traced around the one I had and didn't even think about, you know, making sure that the corners matched. So that's what I would do. I would like fold the batting piece in half, and if you need to, you know, use a pencil or a light marker or something and draw a line and then cut them together so that they match up. But it doesn't really matter the angle, just whatever you find you like. So that's the dimensions of that cover, and I'm sorry I forgot to do that. Well, I don't know if you want to watch me decorate more pages, but that's what I'm doing today, so that's what I'm going to put on video. This is the signature we worked on yesterday, and I did add a few embellishments to that part of the doily. This was already done yesterday. I don't know if I had to do anything else here. I think this was all done on yesterday's video. Yep. So we're going to work on the next signature. I want to do something in this signature first, though, because it's a little bit different. So I didn't finish. Actually, there's a couple things that are different. So let's start with this one. We'll just. I only have 2 pages, I think, to work on in this signature that I've prepped, and then we'll go back to the other one. But these are just a little bit different from things I have done, so I want to do them on camera. I mean, I did them in that other journal that I'm copying from. So this is something that I die cut from red cardstock with my Big Shot, and I'm just gonna sew it along the edge, and then this I'm going to sew at the bottom. So they'll both be flappy, but you should be able to tuck something in there. They can help secure each one can help secure the other one. This is a piece of cardstock that was, or pattern paper that looks just like the brown wood. And then these circles were from another piece of pattern paper, and I cut them out. I did a edge punch that made these big scallop edges, and these circles fit in there perfectly. So it looks like it was printed this way, but it wasn't. So I'm trying to decide doing this, and then I want to sew this on, and I'm going to do this first because this sewing will be here and here for this side, so it won't interfere with the pocket. I was wondering if I needed to just stitch around the pocket to make it look like I sewed it on and then glue it, but I think this will work. No, I don't want to change the stitches. I just want to increase the length. This is a digital that I don't know where I got it. It's just this one piece. I don't have it in a kit or anything. It's just this one piece. I've had it for a long time in my digital files, so I just printed it to a page. then I want to just want to put it at the height that I want it at. I think I want it to stick up a little bit, maybe like that. And then something could tuck in there. I think that would work. I'm gonna sew it there. Didn't want to move. And also this at the bottom. I'm going to try to remember to leave some threads today. Then, let's say this is not cut out or anything. I think that something would stay in there pretty nicely, and you just have something fun. And then we have a pocket here also. The other piece is this, and this is a book page with this drawing of a house. It says, I like a white house with black shutters and a cherry red door. Cheery red door, I guess it says. And I didn't want to fold the house in half, to fold the paper in half, so I folded it unevenly and trimmed it to fit. So I want to do something to this short page. So I have this strip that was sewn together papers, and this was a cut-off piece. I'm going to put that on the edge. I want to put this piece, which is double-sided, and both sides, the colors work well. I want to put that up here. And it could be a little tuck spot here, I think. And then I have a Mary Engelbreit stamp of this. And I stamped it on a scrap of white cardstock and colored it in with my Arteza paint pens. They're the ones that have the paint in the barrel and a brush point. And I inked it with blue ink on both sides because you might see part of the back side, and I'll just put that down there. So I think the first thing to do is to sew this on. I want to sew around all edges because it's kind of wobbly, because I cut the stitching when I cut this paper down, and it's not back stitched. So I just want to make sure that it's going to be secure, so I'm just going to sew all the way around, and that'll be a nice decorative touch anyway. And I decided I wanted the blue on this side because, let me show you. Because I think, even though you can see the orange over here, I think the blue looks better facing this page, and then you flip it open and you have all this orange. And a little bit of orange back here, so there's lots of layers and textures. happening in this journal, which is really, really, really fun. I'm going to keep this so I make sure I don't go out beyond that. Now, the question is, do I want to put it up here at the top and just have this down here? And this could be a tiny little tuck spot here. Or I could center it and put this in the center. This shows a car with groceries in it. I think it's talking about, I don't know what it's talking about. Why is there a car? It's about houses. So I could put a pretty paper there. I pulled out some papers. Where did I put them? Probably didn't bring it in here. Yep. So we're out in the living room. So I could cover this. That would be very vibrant. I like that. I could leave that, and that would be a fun place for you to write a heading or something. I think I'll do that. So we don't need a very big piece of this paper. Just going to cut it right in half. This is a leftover piece of, I think it's one of the wallpaper digitals, probably from Tailor Made Journals, but I don't know. I had a wallpaper similar to that, but I don't think this is one of mine. This needs to be a tiny smidge shorter. Probably would have been better if I'd made it a little bit narrower so we could have all of this, that row of stitching there too, but it's okay. So I think I will have it up at the top. Well, that's going to be covered anyway. Silly me. I think I had said this could be a tuck spot, but it's a tuck spot on the other side. So it can be a little skinny tuck spot right there. And I'll just leave this open so this will all still be a tuck spot. So I need to make a mark where I don't want to put glue. See if that's on there straight. Okay. Well, I just covered up that tuck spot. Jeepers. You guys are probably yelling at me. I hate when I do dumb stuff like that. Just not thinking. I know how I want it to look, but it's still a tuck spot here. Okay. And there's a little bit of blue ink on there that you can see. So just a little tuck spot here. I could pop it open and that glue will dry and it'll be open. Phew, that was a little more challenging than I thought. Just because I won't say stupid, because I'm not stupid. I do silly things. I'm a smart person. I'm listening because it sounds like there's a car outside. Maybe it's a delivery. Yesterday I could have, yeah, I think so. Yesterday I could have had somebody's food. I had just sat down to eat my dinner and then there was a knock at my door and I went to open it and it was a guy with a brown bag. I don't know what restaurant it came from, but he had food in the bag and a bill in his hand, or a receipt or something, and I was like, I didn't order food. I wanted to say, what's in there? Alright, so I should explain what I'm doing here. Remember those nesting dies that I got at the flea market? That's what this is. I used 2 different ones to cut pattern paper and a brown cardstock. And this is an image cut from a vintage book. Like an antique vintage book. Or a magazine. I think it came out of a magazine. So it's probably not antique. It's probably from the 40s. So I'm just making a tuck spot with it. And I added the brown doily there. Came in a pack of stuff that I got. Where did I get it? Did I get that at the flea market too? I know I didn't buy it new. Oh, it was one of the clearance items at Hobby Lobby. And that's part of the digital kit, and this is part of just a digital ephemera kit that I fussy cut. I stamped here. This is a pattern paper, but it looked blank on this side. And over here, I'm going to glue, or sew 2 houses to be another tuck spot. And this Mrs. Coggs, home is where the heart is the set of her set of words. There is no place more delightful than home. going to add that up here. So there will be stitching on the other side, on this side of the page, as I sew this on. Let me just, I added this Mrs. Coggs quote. It was actually Marcus Tullius Cicero that said that, to a piece of scrapbook paper so it would stand out from this paper better. I'm just gonna, I've glued that in the center so it will stay where I want it. So while I wait for that to dry, I'm going to stitch these two houses together. Barely overlap them and use a zigzag stitch. Isn't this kit so fun? Had my thread stuck under the presser foot. Cut that pretty short. I want to make sure that it's gonna, sometimes if your thread is too short when you cut it and then you go to sew and the needle goes up, the thread comes right out. So I always make sure my thread is long enough. Back to the zigzag stitch. And that's just page 1, front and back. Actually, 2 pages. Here, oh, I've got another. Okay, that's good. This is on the front. This is way back here. It's okay. It's okay. I love that colorful page. Here I'm going to do a quote again. I should probably put that on a darker piece of paper. And here I'm going to have this sewn to the bottom and this attached to it so it can be a little tuck spot. So I'm going to sew this on first. I think I want it behind. It's a playing card. With a brightly colored farmhouse. And then I'll just sew this along the bottom. And if your item doesn't want to stay in here, you can use a paper clip to hold it to the card. See, I've got another piece of this barn, or the wood, the dark wood. I'll just let that dry. We'll move on to the next page. Oh, this is a fun one. I'm using some images from a vintage furniture book to go in the houses. So there's a page, and then this is an image from the book. So I have this photo album piece that I cut the pages apart, and it has this end that was in the binder. It actually says Simple Stories, so it was probably from a Project Life set. And I want to have this sewn into the book. No, I want this on this side. So this will be here as a flap, and I will just attach this to the flap. Unfortunately, I think I'll end up, so this is not going to be attached to the book at all. It's just going to be something that gets sewn into the signature. So I will put this on a different page, with a different page, where it will show up better, instead of black and white on black and white. But for now, I'll just sew it to this. Make sure that the opening is on top. And I'll just sew this here. So that's just a fun little flap, and you can write on the back part. And then once this is sewn into the journal, I'll be able to determine the size card that I need to put in there. Let's find a better place to put it. That's not colorful either. Maybe this will go in a different signature. Could put it in front of the colored paper here. And there's orange, so this could be like this whole orange page. So I want it pretty close to where that is. And that way we'll have a nice, good size space for a journal card back there. I'm just creasing it, and then when I sew the book together, it will get sewn in. Fun! Now, back to this page. I think I should put some fabric or trim or something on that plain edge. Got my little bucket, whoops, They went flying. My little bucket of fabric strips. Not finding anything with the colors I like for this journal. Maybe that blue. We'll see. Okay. I can always tear fabric into strips. Let me see about this blue. I think we can use that. And I think I'll just wrap it around. Can let a tail hang off. Maybe. I don't know if that would look good if it's folded and wrapped around. If I don't like it, I'll trim it. Pretty long. I might trim it anyway. We'll just leave it on there for now and see. On this side, I have a couple things going on again, but I think I can start by sewing this because, well, no, maybe not. I'm going to sew this not just across the top, but I want to sew it part way down, just for a different look. And this, I wanted to cover up this wide margin here, so that will be a pocket. So it could be a pocket down here. Yeah, that'll work. We're going to sew this on first. I can always glue on one side or the other if it's not going to work to sew on both sides. But if I think it through and don't do anything silly, should work. I won't glue that on until I sew the back side. I'm going to sew this across the top. And then part way down the sides. Something's not cut straight. I don't know, they look okay. Yep, I think it's good. Looking at the decorative stitches. Oh no, it doesn't look like it's one of those really thick ones, but apparently it is. I don't want it to make holes in my paper. I'm limited. I'll just do try that one. Just going back to a straight stitch to go across. So now obviously the pocket is closed to there, but I can cover that up with this and we'll just have this pocket. And a little trim. Don't want to glue my pocket to the page. Just a piece of junk mail there. Because I have glue on the back of this. All right. So I could put something narrow up here and it would go in between those stitch lines and it would stay nicely. It could go in between the two pieces or underneath both pieces or both. We'll figure that out later. Got just a few more minutes. Better sew this on. Well, I can do that off camera because you've seen me do that. going to tuck it in here so I remember where it goes. We already did the fabric flip, and I just added one piece to that. I might add more, and I added some pieces inside. I guess that's all I have for this signature, and we did some things in this signature, and that's all I had prepared. So that was pretty good timing because we're just about out of time. So I just want to say thank you for coming to hang out with me today. I hope you were crafting along. I hope you got some fun ideas for some different kinds of embellishments and pockets and things like that in your journals. And I hope you're having a creative day. Bye-bye.